previously against Thundertalk.
It is also the same champ that KBG used, or that Tatan used against Invade, a series that they won 2-0. He went Kha'Zix and then Aatrox in that series, so has found some success with it of recent. Unfortunately, didn't find the same success against EDG, so hoping to, of course, make a difference here against JDG. As the final ban is coming out now, Jace, Ziggs, Kassadin locked on out. Kali being banned away means that KBG have a bit of a thinker as to what they're going to pick here. We haven't seen a lot of Corkis as of late, so perhaps that is their option here. Aatrox banned on out as well. And no ADCs yet on either side, so Xayah going to be the top priority here. Perhaps Kai'Sa as well, just to keep up with that aggression that either side can pull up here. Ziggs, not an option anymore. JDG themselves banned it away. Lucian, Ezreal, both up to complement that Vladimir comp. And it seems like they want to go for the Lucian instead here for JDG.
Possibly Shama's going to be picking up the Zeri here so that he can just, safely pre-hit from the backside. Safely scale up as well. They pick up the Jax. Is this going to be for Andran in the mid lane? I can still remember the time that he used Jax into the mid lane. It wasn't the best, but it was stable.
Corki as well.
Alright, you ask and they
should deliver. Yeah, exactly. The last pick here, Wukong. This is going to be a new one here. It has been a while since we've seen a Wukong, so it's going to be interesting to witness here. And the more you think about it, it plays really well with the Galio comp, right? You got two options for your engage. You got the Camille hookshot, and then you got the Wukong as well. Exactly. First time we're going to be seeing Wukong in a hot minute here. And if you think about it, the Galio priority now makes sense, right? If they've always been planning this Wukong pick, you got liberty of options, or a couple of options as to how you're going to engage with the Galio, now that you've got the Wukong. And it complements the Vladimir as well, so really ingenious drafting here for the side of JDG. Let's see if KBG actually expected this. I don't think so, because they didn't ban it away.
Fiora on Andra 9 as well is going to be quite interesting for me, as well as, well, it's been a long time since we've last seen Fiora being used a lot into the mid lane, but if there's a player that will be able to fully utilize it, it's gonna be Andran. One of the best, not the best mid laner in the world. Especially in the CN conference side of Keep Best Gaming. Let's see what's gonna happen here in this game number 1. Of course, this is just the first game in this best of 3 series. It's about to go down.
Yeah, I think it's going to go the distance here, GG. I hope it does, because it is last season's champs going up against one of the promising candidates here, the up-and-comers, JDG, in the CN conference team. Both teams have a lot to prove with this series, so everything, or a lot of stakes, big stakes on the line here for both squads. And it is a pretty interesting setup for JDG. We're going to see a Wukong for the first time here today. For first time in a while in the season.
Especially is Andran on Fiora as well. I mean, this is one way that they can actually address the Vladimir, right? Just focus on bullying him in the early game, though he has to be very careful, of course, of the gank of the Wukong. You mentioned that it is the first, and yes, it is true. We haven't seen the Wukong in a while, primarily because Wukong is not really a total engager. It just is a supplementary engager.
Yeah.
And kind of lacks some damage as well. Sustain is good, but there are better options in the jungle. Primarily the Vi as a proper engage tool instead.
Yeah, typically Wukong's type of playstyle is more of the in and out in these team fights. And that's sort of kind of fallen out of fashion with most teams going in for an all-in type of playstyle anyway, right? So Wukong, not necessarily his type of characteristic there, but he can do that same thing. So especially when you complement it with an enabler like a Galio, for example, or perhaps even a Shen. In this case, does have that Galio alongside him. So it makes a fair amount of sense here for JDG. And it does provide a lot of denial, right? Up against a Kha'Zix. This is one of the reasons as well why you pick up a Wukong, right? Once a Kha'Zix goes invis, tries to jump in for the fight, you activate the Cyclone and you immediately deny the Kha'Zix of everything. And it's always a nice to have here, especially when that team relies so much on that jungling potential.
And what I like about KBG right now here is that we picked up the Corki, because this is a champion that we really looked forward seeing, especially after the recent patch. Corki is actually really strong, but one of the reasons why we don't see it that much is because of its more magic damage rather than physical damage. That's why we do see more priority on Lucian, especially for early game compositions, because they really want to have that brute force of damage on AD more than AP, since we do see mages already into the mid lane. That's a great adjustment compared to last season. ADCs were back there and APCs were in the bottom lane. We see more action as well coming in towards this second season as well, which is just a nice touch.
Of course. Juan's actually making his way towards KG here, going for the early gank.
Oh! I still don't going to be used, but Juan does have the Cyclone. The Ton is going to be here to actually assassinate Lemon by being in a lot of trouble. That's going to be used, but still a deny! 1-for-1 trade, going to be great here for KBG, but also for JDG.
Yeah, the Tan going down. But the first blood, I believe that was for the side of JDG, netting them off a few more gold in the bank here. Let's take a look at that one more time. It took a little bit of time before they could shut down KG here. And the counter-strike could not have been timed any better there, punishing Lemon big time. I mean, they did get another kill in the end there, but really, really well played there for the Jax here of KBG's side, the Baron laner. Actually buying enough time for his own survival. Going in for the reset now. It is still really early to say who has the definitive advantage for now. And as we said earlier, this could go the distance because these two teams, of course, have a lot to lose here in this series.
Absolutely. And it was great for KG as well, because there was a huge wave crashing onto this tower. And since he was able to stay alive, he was able to clear out the wave and be okay here. Top lane is still even because neither picked up a kill, just an assist to help out secure the kills by their jungler. Lemon get threatened a little bit here by KG. Getting trades are actually getting better here by KG by the minute. Still has to be very careful, of course, of any sort of engage. Aton gonna be lingering down here in the bottom side. River once will spot him out or will not. KG just says hi, bye.
Yeah, the Tan was like, "Oh, sorry." Didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Privacy.
And decides to walk away now. Just a gentleman's agreement for now between these two junglers. They both understand that it isn't necessary to risk any fight at this stage of the game. It won't necessarily benefit either of them, and both of the ults being up mean that they could just both run away, so might as well not attempt to fight. As the Rift Herald and the Drake both spawning up after that, so both junglers actually wanting a piece of that Rift Herald pie. I think KBG should just prioritize the Drake, the Ocean Drake. But UU is trying to deter a little bit of aggression here at the Rift Herald, and now they're looking to turn here. The Tan is around the area.
I mean, this is a great chance for KBG, especially for the Tan to be able to land a good steal. I mean, this is a Kha'Zix. One still going to be committing here. Great. Shield Thron going to be used by Max, trying this way the members here of KBG. Great cast though! And the Tan is going to be able to pick up the RH. Now Bear's going to be forcing out Shama's flash. They're going to chase him out, but I think that's a great sacrifice already by Shama. Feibai can be targeted here, just forced to flash away. Shama looking to at least buy some time for the rest of KBG to reset and go to the dragon.
But what a beautiful cast there from Yu. I think that's single-handedly what netted them off the Rift Herald fight. The Tan essentially free reign of that Smite fight because of the perfectly timed Smite, or perfectly timed cast there from Yu, denying once up that space. And because of that, KBG able to secure the Rift Herald, and they could even start up this next Drake, which is massive here because they could deny JDG of so much if they do get this Drake.
They will try once, getting zoned off a little bit here. They have spawned up the RH into the mid lane already, but not enough to take the tower down. And that, I think, is very important here for KBG to retain at least some control here in the mid lane. But the dragon actually is not going to be prioritized this time around by JDG. That can actually allow KBG just set up in the bottom side river.
The Dragon not prioritized. Quite curiously enough here on either side. One has the opportunity to start it up, but he knows that there's looming vision, and he knows that Titan is just around the area, but they're both converging now. Dragon, okay.
Cass gonna force out once! It is down! Jungler out here for JDG is gonna be so great here for KBG right now. Titan's gonna be starting up the Dragon. Max should be backing away, but he's just trying to protect Fei here. Calling gonna be used by Very as well to try and damage some of the members here of KBG. But it's not gonna matter at all because Titan is going to be able to pick up this Dragon for KBG. Back-to-back objectives for this team.
Yeah, Yu has been setting up the Titan for success here in the early game. And we talk about the struggles of the Titan in these scary sort of junglers. And perhaps this is what he's been needing all this time, the support system of his team. And to me, it was a nice counter-engage coming through there from the JDG squad. But another beautiful explosive cast into the body slam. Make sure that there isn't any contest at all with once going down so quickly. And that's an Ocean Dragon secured this time. 2 objectives, 2 for 2 this time for the side of KBG in this early game. And so far, definitive lead that we've been looking for this time is going in the hands of KBG.
Those kinds of setups by you actually has a term by Oculus, and it's called the UU Special. Whenever it's on the Gragas, we see the UU Special. And it was made in that play in the top side river and on the bottom side river. And that allowed KBG to just get everything during this early game.
Yeah, exactly. Both objectives, couple of kills as well to answer for JDG's first 2. And now the Titan has spotted out Max. Are they going to commit? There is the cask available, but nope, not going for it as of yet. They just want to take this first. Yeah, exactly. I was about to point it out. 50 HP on this turret. And then after they get the turret, maybe they're going to turn for the kills. But, man, once has been taking a beating in these fights. He hasn't been able to find a lot here.
And this is one of the reasons why we don't see the movement that much. Feibai gonna be initiated here, but still has the pull to just walk away. But this tower cannot be walked out. JDG has to fight. They do. And force out KBG to walk away instead. But again, the pressure is just too real coming in for KBG. Mid lane. Bear is gonna get taken down. They will get the tower as well. It's a massive swing of gold for Keep Best Gaming.
Not just gold, map control as well. So that's gonna be huge here for the rotations. Even more so for the Titan here on the rotation. And Xiaoma is around the area too. They could look for a dive.
They will as well. The damage is going to be pure already. Feibai is going to be in a lot of trouble. Flash in by Andran as well. As Shir just going to be walking away. He is just so tanky right now. Tower's going to be falling down. Max is going to be running away, sprinting for his life. And KBG just going to be letting him live. Topside, KG is going to be initiated here with Hextech Ultimatum. Once as well does have some CC, but they don't pursue just yet.
Yeah. Just so hard to fight the Jax when you are a Camille. Most of your damage gets denied by just a counter-strike. And look at the cooldowns on KG as well. So quick.
Fast.
Yeah, it's so hard as Lemon, but they are going to try and attempt the 1v1. Hook shots. Not going to be committing into the fight as usually is around the area. And yeah, Lemon is just struggling. So many players of JDG are struggling right now. Not just Lemon, it's Once as well. And Feibai just not there yet. And the early game strength that they are banking on Barry and Max just hasn't found a lot of success here, which meant that KBG, look, almost all of the players are leading in terms of the gold here. And they're at a pretty comfortable spot. 4,000 gold lead for KBG.
Clean execution here and there. This time it's not so clean as Yu actually got outplayed a little bit there by Max, especially the Justice Punch. Feibai starting to hurt as well. But the 5,000 gold lead of KBG is undeniably great, and it's going to be very useful as they scale up.
Yeah. As time goes on, as game continues on, the Titan is around the area. Max has to be careful here. They don't really have a lot of bail potential. But the good thing is they've already been able to bait out the explosive casks, so there's not a lot to worry about. Oh, the blue buff barely missed there by KG, unfortunate.
Though we don't know who actually picked it up, if it's the jungler of JDG
That's
or
true.
KBG. So yeah, he might just be wanting to place ward there.
Here's the
But
truth,
in
though.
case, right? It was
Here's the truth, though. The Baron, yeah, exactly, the Baron. And the Drake about to spawn up in just a bit. So another point of contest here for both sides. And Yu is first to the scene here, already establishing vision for KBG. And this is perhaps the make or break dragon here for once. They have to contest this for JDG. Fight breaking through though.
KG is going to be able to escape. But KBG is positioning for the second dragon. JDG has to contest, but how did he actually do that? Pack's gonna be used to zone them out. The cast! What do? And it's really the response here of JDG. They actually turn counter-strike gonna be used. Good cyclone here to at least knock off some of the members here of KBG. As now the calling gonna be used by Barry to start to deal damage here onto KBG. Great cyclone once again. Shaman gonna be in a lot of trouble, trying to flash away and run away, but the flash is gonna be used here by the Woogle to try pick up the kill. And Yu and the Thon unable to protect the back line, but at least they secured the dragon.
And I think the biggest participating factor there is because the Hextech ultimatum is not available there for Lemon. Again, great job from KG there, making sure that he did not go down, meant that one of the key ultimates and one of the key players there are kept at bay here for JDG. Because they don't have the Hextech ultimatum, they don't have any access to use or to put the Justice Punch or the Hero's Entrance into that pit, because they had no realistic way of getting into it without Lemon having access to the fight. And because of that, KBG able to converge after they take the Drake. So they get the objective and they win the fight afterwards as well. I mean, barely so, but fact of the matter is they take the objective for themselves, and that's more than enough for KBG.
Yeah, you get the soul point in exchange for a couple of kills. I think that is already worth it because they had the leverage already in terms of gold prior to the fight. Yes, they're up 3,500 gold instead of the 5,000 a while ago. But it's okay, because they have the second dragon stack right now. That is just great economy or great usage for their scaling later on. And now JDG is feeling every pressure that is to be felt here in this game, because there's two objectives that they need to watch out now. The Baron and also the soul point here for KBG.
And the one good thing that JDG has going for themselves is they are able to trade blows in terms of the gold fight. It's still down to just a 3,000 gold lead, despite the fact that KBG has already gotten so many objectives ahead. So JDG can definitely still look for a fight now.
Not really the best target. Yu, great cast still. Actually, some of the members here of JDG, but they actually turn here. Grand Challenge gonna be on the map, but still able to survive. Never mind, actually dies. And KBG getting that one pickoff can signal the Baron. JDG, reset still, keeping track of the members here of KBG. Will not pursue just yet.
Yeah, they do have the smite here available on once. Okay.
That was scary.
Playing for it with a little bit of fire there, but I was about to say one still up meant that smite still available here for JDG, so KBG don't want to commit yet, but now that they have a little bit of access on that vision, they might set up something here. Nope, still don't want to risk it for now, and KBG still giving JDG the respect that they are due. But because of those couple of kills from KBG, they do extend the lead by a little bit. But they should be looking for opportunities to extend this lead now. Fabai is slowly but surely scaling up. So at some point, KBG has got to pull the trigger to try and attempt that sort of game closure.
Yeah, it's actually going to be much more pressure here on the side of Keepless Gaming just because they have the Fiora. Yes, Andran was able to fully utilize it in the previous fight and in some of the fights as well alongside KBG. But this Vladimir is going to deal AoE damage, and as long as he is going to be able to play it out safe and not be bursted out by the Grand Challenge here of Andran, should be safe and fine. Great steal coming in. This is the taunt things. Yu picking up the blue buff. Now the turn here onto Max, dealing quite a bit of damage here onto the Gal, but Andran is also going to be forced to use the stasis to buy some time. Cyclone as well. Later to see CFA by going in as well. But JDG is having more strong suits this time around. Once being able to stay alive as well is bad sign for KBG. But at least nobody died from their side as well.
KBG know that they don't necessarily have to take these fights right now, because Lucian is very, very strong at this point in the game. Arguably one of the strongest points right now at the 2 to 3 item mark. But they could just wait. They could just wait for the item to come through for their core key, and they should be at a better spot a few minutes from now. And that's why they just constantly disengage against JDG. They know exactly what they need to do here, and that's what's one of the trademarks of KBG here as one of the greats in terms of making these right shot calls. But now, though, they have to contest this dragon that JDG is starting up already.
Great pull coming in from one, still able to sustain himself. They turn onto Max, might be in a lot of trouble. Grand Challenge is going to be used on him as well, just as one to try and stay alive, at least buy some timing for the rest of JDG, but Lemon's going to be taking too much damage. Favor as well is half in HP already. You're going to be flashing in with the bottom slam. JDG is looking to back off, but the Kha'Zix of the bot is going to be jumping around. JDG once still able to escape. 4 members in, KBG complete as 5 will secure the soul. Will now be buffed up even more.
Yeah, absolutely. Helping them a lot in terms of scaling. Speaking of which, they're the ones with better scaling out of these two comps. The only reason that JDG has been able to trade blows is because of the nature of their comp. It's not yet late game, and Barry is at a pretty decent spot. Lucian deals a fair amount of damage. And now, KBG is slowly starting to take over. Unless we can find a sort of pop-off moment for Feibai here on this Vladimir. KBG is just going to continue on taking over this game. And the Baron is going to be the key to that game closure. They're already starting it up. They tried to sneak it right under their noses, but JDG, I think they can discover this.
Ooh, that was very scary, to be honest. There's only 2 of them a while, but this time they are stalking once. Was able to at least blast going away and be fine for now. That was too scary for comfort.
Yeah. JDG, they're looking to try and set up something. JDG, they could feel the pressure as the Elder Dragon spawns up here.
JDG, this is their chance. They have to be able to pick this up, but it's just so difficult to do so because the Thon is using the Kha'Zix. It is using it so flawlessly. Max again getting initiated on takes too much damage, half HP already, as opposed to come in from Chamo as well. Once is in here on the Elder Dragon pit. KG is going to be initiating Anna 9 as well, targeting Feibai. Skill ultimatum going to be used onto him as well to try and dissuade him right now. They turn onto Anna, pick him up as well, and they turn onto the Jax. Faces to buy some time. KG is going to be flashing away, jump alongside his teammates as well, but the Thon is going to be stalking them out, slowing them down. JDG, having that 1 kill already, is going to be in a great position to contest, but again, the constant pressure of KBG just because of the soul is too much to handle.
Because of JDG able to pick up that kill, they could start this Drake. Jatan finally discovered, but look at how well JDG is playing this team fight. KBG have no access.
The turn is going to be there. They'll sweep as well just to slow them out, but still Shaman's gonna be fine. KG is here for the flank as the Thon is lingering down.
Oh no,
Max again initiating. Great counter strike, but not really too impactful here for KG. This is gonna get taken down. Great cast gonna be used here by Yu as well. At least for the 1-for-1 trade. The Gallows gonna be out. No more defensive utilities here left on JDG. No more front line as well. As Yu's gonna be striking with the bottom stems down as well. Gonna be going up here. JDG is looking to walk away. Xiaoma is also just poking them out. In the Thon now going towards the Elder Dragon. Lemon as well gonna be going in, but it's gonna be very, very dangerous now. They're gonna be turning onto Lemon, gonna be picking up the kill onto Feibai as well. Now Yu is still able to seize himself once as well. Going in. The turn by JDG, but it's not gonna be enough this time around. Lemon's gonna be the next target. One is gonna be the only one left alive. Going on the Elder Dragon. But KBG is so good in this team fight right now. To get the ace, to get the Elder Dragon, it's gonna be the buff of KBG.
Yu, Datan, they just played out of their minds in that fight. They take the ace without really losing a lot, and they take the Elder Dragon as well. I'm not sure how they're able to do that in the face of a full roster that is JDG playing so well up until this point. KBGs are marching down the base. Max the only one in their way, and he is not going to be able to hold the line here. KBG take the first game of the series.
And in a dominating fashion as well. This is why KBG should never be disregarded, never be forgotten. Because once you do, you will be slapped with reality that